Good to see you guys. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. We're covering European specials this month, August. We've got awesome. If you place your LRP order before the 15th of the month, you get a free cedar wood, and there's 10% off on the Pedigreen. And then we also have some amazing product launches. I'll just show you the bottles right here. We have Balance Touch, Helichrysum Touch, and Whisper Touch. These are amazing. And I'll, of course, cover them all for those of you that don't know me. Hi, my name is Jada Hansen. And I'm a diamond in the US, but I also have European teams. So I'm building here in Europe, and that's why I'm covering the specials that we have over here. I love doing that so that everyone understands. I'm just adjusting my camera. It's like doing something funny. So that everyone understands both the emotional and the physical aspects, because the energetic aspects is really what I focus on a lot. Of course, that helps to lift all of the physical things. And right now, today's August 10th, but August 8th was the official portal of Lionsgate opening, which is the one day of the entire year where everything aligns from the sun from an outer galaxy, sending light codes to our sun in our galaxy, which then is sending codes directly from the pyramids of Giza out in a grid to all the other pyramids on Earth. For example, Chichen Itza, south of Tulum, and there's many other places on the planet where we have these structures, and they form a grid, and it is really the day for our DNA to have a quantum leap, the biggest upgrade. And so it starts 5 days before, and it really closes down on the 11th. So the energies are still very, very strong. And you may feel it or you may not. Some people don't feel very much, and some people really feel a lot of stuff is going on. And what you'll typically find is you start questioning things. It's a good time to get clear on your intention. It's a good time to get clear on what you want to create, but understanding that there's something that has to give. Your old ways are probably not going to serve you much longer, because we're really being ushered into what we call the golden age. And with that comes a lot of new learning. So I like to focus on the energetic aspects of the essential oils, although I use them for physical things, of course, but it's usually an energetic aspect lying underneath. So let's dive in. With the cedar wood in Europe, this is your product of the month. So for those of you that are brand new, you can order through, or those of you that have been ordering for a long time, but those that might not know, we have a loyalty rewards program. And if you place between the 1st and the 15th of the month, including the 15th of the month, 125 PV order on this loyalty rewards program, we call it a 125 LRP, you get for free a 15 milliliter cedar wood. And cedar wood is an amazing oil. I don't think it ever really gets talked about enough. The physical aspects are insect repellent. It's great for sleep. It's a purifier of skin. We actually have, let me see if I can share this with you, because then you'll be able to see. We have, as part of my team, what I love to do twice a month is give you guys education. So here you can see I send out some things that for you, just for education. And you can see here the cedar wood. You can even massage 5 drops with a carrier oil into a really soothing massage or in the bath. And it will support you in improving your appearance of skin. And you can actually, if you have dry patches or anything that needs to clear up, you can put 1 drop directly on there. It's calm enough. Cedar wood is also very good for wood. If you want to put on a cloth a little bit of lemon, a little bit of cedar wood and some water, and just wipe over your wood, It's great, as I said, natural insect repellent. You can create it in a spray. You can add it to your Terra Shield. If you use that one, you can add some more of other things in there. The Terra Shield is our natural insect repellent for skin. Also, the energetic aspects I really, really love. It's the oil of community. And in what's been going on, I'm actually going to stop sharing the screen just so you can see. We have what we'll cover later on here is the Pedigreen, which you'll get 10% off. And then we have limited time offers in Europe this month where you'll actually get discounted on specific enrollment kits. So if you want to share with your friends and family, right now in Europe, you'll get 10, 15, and 20% off different kits. We have new product launches. Helichrysum, Balance, and Whisper Touch. So that means it's in the 10 milliliter rollers. And I'm going to dive into them specifically, but I'm going to now go back for you for the cedarwood for the energetic aspect, because what's been happening in the year is a lot of, well, not just year, now almost 2 years is separation, a lot of separation. And this oil is the oil of community. So it brings people together to experience strength and value of community, rather than allowing people to go off and be isolated and not accept the help of friends and family. This oil really reminds one that we don't thrive in excessive self-reliance. It's good to have self-reliance. It's good to be resilient, but excessive self-reliant actually cuts you off from what this life is all about. And it also invites very strong-willed individuals to couple the strength of individuality with the support of community. So it doesn't bring on a sense of weakness. It actually strengthens the person who is able to receive support. Cedarwood supports individuals in seeing that they're not alone, because the underlying root of people often isolating or creating is that they think they're better off alone. They think that they are going to be alone anyway, so what's the point? There's all these hidden beliefs underneath it. And so it supports these very strong-willed people to understand that life is a shared experience. It also assists in opening up the awareness of individuals to a support system that is already available to them. So you're not robbing someone else of the gift of giving you their support. It really supports you in being emotionally connected. So even if you know you want relationship, but it's hard, this one around your navel, this one on your solar plexus is amazing, because these are your sacral and your connection, like your egoic center lives in this third chakra, which the ego is not a bad thing. People make it out to being such a bad thing. It's bad if it's running your life, but we need the ego to be alive. But if it's over reliant, if it's running the show and it doesn't understand that this is a really good place for connection, then it might be blocking you from having beautiful, beautiful experiences. So it really supports us in being connected that way. And also, for some people, it's hard to go into community. They feel drained. They feel like there's too much going on with other people's energies. They prefer to actually stay away because they're feeling, oh, it's just too much. The cedarwood can actually support in that, so that instead of walking into big groups and already feeling like it's taxing, you can feel the ability to connect and be enriched by this. So I love cedarwood. The next oil, Pedigreen, is really it's an underused oil, I think. Pedigreen is really, 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 really powerful. And I just went away from my little page here. It's actually a citrus family. It's very, very good for nervous and muscular spasms. So you can apply 1 or 2 drops at the bottom of the feet or directly to the area where your muscles are spasming. It's great if you're having anything neurological. It actually works on the neurological system. It's a very calming oil. It has a lot of esters in there for the chemistry. It has, it's called linalyl acetate. It is an extremely calming oil, also very great if you're having trouble sleeping and you don't necessarily connect with the lavender family, you can use this one. If anyone is having insomnia, if anyone is having seizures, this is seizures at the bottom of the feet and insomnia, you want to put a drop under the tongue. Also, if it's a period of time of a lot of stress, you can actually put it behind the ears. There's a lot of nerve endings here, and the pulse point right underneath and behind the ear. I like to take it even a step further, pull it down through your vagus nerve so that you can get out of fight or flight and into a parasympathetic state where you really are breathing in your surroundings, not feeling overwhelmed, really calming your body. It is actually also good for bacterial infections. You can take it internally in a capsule, 1 to 3 drops. And if you're having a lot of tension in your respiratory system, you can apply it over your chest. Now, don't put it on if you're going straight out into the sun, because it does have some photosensitivity. There is also a really, really beautiful diffuser blend that I like to recommend. It's 3 drops Pedigreen, 3 drops wild orange, 2 drops bergamot, 2 drops lime, and 2 drops lavender. And it is, we call it citrus blossom. So this blend is now available, citrus bloom, but this one's a little bit different. So I really, really love this one. It is just a perfect balance between the feminine and the masculine coming together in that blend. I'll repeat again. So it's 3 drops each of Pedigreen, wild orange, and bergamot. And then you have 2 drops of lime and lavender, and it's full round. So Pedigreen, why is this such a powerful oil? It is the oil of ancestry. And now more than ever is a time where we're being ushered in to living in a new paradigm. And so it's important to break the cycle of the ancestry, not necessarily eliminate it, because Pedigreen, what it does, it allows us to have a healthy connection to our ancestry. It allows us to draw on the wisdom, and it allows us to really connect with our ancestors and look at them from their humanness. So instead of judging, and instead of being like, I never want to be like my family, it really is a place where you can see the lineage that we're coming from, or oneself has come from, even if it's a difficult past, difficult family history. It allows you to look at it and say, wow, this was happening, but I still gained something from it that I'm able to use in my life currently. And rather than condemn it and then thus put more energy on it and thus perpetuate it, you are able to look at it and say, I learned that, and I'm going to keep the good, but the rest of it I'm going to put to sleep and transform it into something different. So it is, it allows us to really connect with the good things that we've inherited. Because either extreme, if you're like, I don't want to have anything to do with my past, or you can't disconnect from your family, the family history is so in you that it runs your life, either extreme is not healthy balance. And Pedigreen really supports you in having a healthy balance with your ancestry, either way. So this is really one that where we can, when we start to use it, we find peace and clarity and empathy for our own journey. I think that's probably one of the biggest overlooked areas, is we focus out and we're looking at, oh, okay, this person did this person, and we fail sometimes to have empathy for what we're going through ourselves. Not from a victim place, right? It's not like, poor me, I had to suffer this, because that again is not a healthy balance to one's ancestry. It is really having the full rounded feeling of this is what's occurred. And I now have the wisdom and the insight to break the cycle and still have a lot of empathy and compassion for what I've endured, what my family has endured. And I don't need to carry the burden any longer. I don't need to perpetuate it. I don't need to have this weight on my shoulders. And for that, we have clarity and wisdom. So I love, love, love Pedigreen. Those two oils are your main oils this month. And like I said, in Europe, if you purchase it during the month of August, you get 10% off. The other 3 oils that we have that are being launched in Europe are the touch lines. So we have Balance, Helichrysum, and Whisper. Let me put it like this: Balance, Helichrysum, and Whisper. And what's different about these, we have them in bottles, right? We always have 15 milliliter Balance, and we have 5 milliliter Helichrysum and 5 milliliter Whisper. Now in the US, you cannot get a hold of 5 milliliter Whisper anymore. In Europe, I think you still can. The difference between these bottles is that it is a touch oil, which means that it's already diluted with fractionated coconut oil. It gives you a better delivery system. It eliminates any skin sensitivity. It has a metal roller. And what you do is you roll them on your pulse points. Right here are all the pulse points that goes through to all of your organs, your bloodstream. You have pulse points here. You have behind the ear. You also have a lot of pulse points. I'm just going to move this at the back of your neck and all the way up underneath your skull. And really, this one, I mean, all of them, when you use them, they're so great for kids because you can roll them anywhere, up and down the spine, under the feet, and they're already pre-diluted. Most of us probably know the physical and the emotional aspects of them. I'm going to talk very briefly. Balance is your grounding oil. So this is a very good oil for anything neurologically. It has frankincense. It has 4 different types of wood oils in there. And it's incredibly good for calming, relieving feelings of anxiety, relieving these feelings that are of overwhelm. So the Balance oil is going to be very soothing to your nervous system. And if you're having trouble calming down or sleeping, we recommend it under the feet. Emotionally, the energetic aspect of Balance is really one of seeing things through, patience, being guided through, and when you start a project, seeing it to the end. It reminds us that in order to really have anything in life, we must see it through. It's so people that are overactive, kids that tend to be overactive, that start a lot of things and then they can't concentrate. This oil is an incredible oil for that. For people that have overused their mind, that tend to go up here and think. Balance oil helps to open their first chakra, the root chakra, the connection to family, earthing. I just recently shared with my team that I'm now ending like a 6-year period of being pretty much like a nomad. I lived everywhere. I lived between so many places, had apartments, different places, and was always in a suitcase. And it served me well. It was wonderful. And the one thing that actually helped stabilize me and kept me grounded so that I could get back into my body after all this flying. Sometimes I was on a plane 2 times a week. Even through the past year and a half, I was flying at least once or twice a month, right? So this oil really supports you in getting grounded and rooted. If you do yoga, this is a beautiful one under your feet before yoga. Any exercise actually helps you get rooted. For meditation, under your feet, it pulls you right in. And staying present. So if your mind likes to flutter, this one is one that's going to really support you in staying present. The ingredients are spruce, whole wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. So you will see a slight blue tint to the oil. If you put it on before bedtime, if you have white sheets, just wait until it's dry so that you don't get the blue onto your sheets. So that's the balance oil. Helichrysum is what we call our liquid Band-Aid. Helichrysum is really, everyone, I feel like, should have this in their medicine cabinet, right? Even the 5 ml and this one. It's originally formulated for pain, and we have it inside of the Deep Blue blend. It's just wonderful for anything bone related, anything blood related. So the musculoskeletal system, the cardiovascular system, all benefits from the Helichrysum. It supports our cells. It supports in deep, deep healing, and in tissue that has had disruption, it supports in aligning the tissue again. So wonderful, wonderful, powerful oil for anything physical. And if you have a burn or a cut or a scrape, you can literally put it directly on there. Let me see if there's anything that I'm leaving out. Just want to make sure. Yeah, amazing. Also, actually, if you have a ringing behind your ear, you want to put Helichrysum behind your ear. It's very, very good for this. You can, if there's anything going on virally, you can take 1 to 2 drops in a capsule as well. And like I said, anything skin related tissue repair. Now, this one you obviously can't put in a capsule because it's a roller. That would be the 5 ml, but the roller you can roll on anywhere. Also, people who've had issues with all of a sudden eyesight, they found that the Helichrysum oil and mixed with the Immortelle is really, really good around the eyes. Now, the energetic aspect, this oil, I actually attribute a lot of my growth to this oil. I used to, when I first started with the oils back in the day, I would sit with the Emotions and Essentials book, and I would just sit with it and I would think, what do I need? Open the page. And I, in very early part of my journey, found Helichrysum, and I kept using it on my heart every single day. After a week, I just burst and I started crying and crying and crying. And I'm like, what's going on? I can't stop crying. And I started to have memories of things come back. And I remember speaking to my mentor, Dr. Zia, and I was like, I can't stop crying. This is going on. I'm having all these memories. And she was like, okay, you have to start using wild orange. You've used it and fine, but now you need to balance it and pause, right? So I dived in with it, but it fast-tracked my healing so much, because we call it the oil of the wounded warrior or the wounded, right? And so for those that are walking around with a past history that is difficult, but we don't really understand how to break through it or how to change it, this one will very gently bring things to the surface so we can clear it. And it's amazing for emotional pain. It restores confidence in life. It restores confidence in self. It restores the confidence in the relationship with the sun, and that we are carried, that we are supported. It really offers hope, especially with emotional wounds, that they can be healed. It's such an oil of transformation. It teaches individuals also to have gratitude, and gratitude for the trials, understanding that the trials were part of our journey. So you can see how Pedigreen and Helichrysum really go well together. And then the oil of cedarwood is like the one that's like community, allowing us to be connected again. There's just no coincidence ever, right? This one is really, really great for people who are, Helichrysum here is great for people who are suffering trauma. Also, if you're just feeling despair. So this one will restore this feeling of courage and persevering and feeling determined. Love it, love it, love it. Now, final oil in the series for Europe is Whisper. This has been my perfume for 7 years now. So probably took me about a year to find it, but I've been with doTERRA for 8. So yeah, 7 years. And this is the one that I use. So I used to use the 5 ml. And when they came out with this, I was like, wow, this is so great. You can see I keep it in my purse because I have it on a topper. But again, it's the roller, and you can literally roll it anywhere over your throat chakra. Whenever I do chakra balancings with people, this is the oil that I use for the throat chakra. And if I don't have this, I use lavender. But the whisper oil is one that really restores a healthy connection to the feminine. So it's both for men and women, because we all have feminine and masculine balancing to do. But this is a really powerful oil for restoring a healthy connection to women. If you're a woman that's had a troubled past with women, this is a great one. And if you're men that's having a hard time with female energy, either around you or in you, this is a great oil. I also just want to check one thing for you guys before I go forward. So this one is very good for the physical aspect for balancing hormones. You can use it up and down your spine. You can use it over your ovaries. It is also an aphrodisiac. So for you guys, if you want, you ladies, you want a little bit more romance in your life and spice up libido, both men and women, you women can wear it. And when the men smell it, it is an aphrodisiac. It's very sedative. It's very calming. So for an overactive nervous system, an overactive hormonal cycle, this is very calming. And it's also, so here's the thing with oils, I need to explain this. If you have an imbalance, if it's in, let's say we're talking about libido is a low sex drive, this will communicate with your cells to bring the sex drive up. Now, on the other side, on the other hand, if it's an unhealthy, overly sexed, overly hormonal drive, it will balance it to bring it into check, and the calming and the sedative parts of the oil will come out. So you don't need to worry about it bringing you further down or bringing you too high up. It really will balance you where it is a healthy system running through your body. It also supports with women who are going through changes, either pre, peri, post menopause. It is great for that whole thing. And you can, of course, use it in tangent with Claricalm, which is great for those things. The main ingredients in the blend are bergamot, ylang ylang, patchouli, jasmine, vanilla, cinnamon, labdanum, vetiver, cocoa, and rose. So it is yummy, 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 yummy. It's also very soothing to skin if you have any itchy patches or any impurities that need to calm down. It's very good for this. And it is also great around the eyes for enhancing your vision. So the energetic aspect, so that we just covered a lot of physical right there. It's really great for processing a strong feminine quality. Feminine energy is needed both for women and men. So if you've been in an overtly masculine drive and the femininity is not present, this is often seen with women in metropolitan areas. It's often seen when women are forced to be in a very overtly masculine world in a corporation, or from past history, they've just learned they've survived better in the world with more of a masculine energy. That serves in certain areas. It serves, for example, to achieve great things at work or whatever that survival has been. But the problem when you have a woman that's overly masculine, one, it's just not that attractive over a long period of time. And the body starts overproducing cortisol. And then we get into adrenal fatigue, and then we have all sorts of other issues. So you really want to balance that feminine energy and soften up and really learning to receive. So especially if you're someone who has a hard time receiving, you want to use whisper. Whisper is going to support you in receiving. It's going to support you in being feminine and not feeling weak, right? There's this thing, I think not so much anymore, but definitely a few years ago, there was this thing where people were like, oh, but if I'm in my feminine energy, then I'm weak. No, you're not. You're actually really, really, really powerful. And that's where you really can draw things to you. That's where you can really receive. And that's where you're really abundant. So it's beautiful. And like I said, it's a great oil for both men and women. If men are rejecting the feminine aspect of themselves, they are also not balanced, right? If they're overly masculine. So this is really, really beautiful. It helps to work through issues of femininity and sexuality. And it also, like I said, supports if you're feeling disconnected sexually, either overusing sex or just disconnected, not wanting it at all. It helps to support that balance. So reconnecting with a positive feminine energy. I love it. I hope this is helpful for you guys. This was a long one today because I covered 5 oils, more than just the 2, but save it on YouTube, come back to it. And then you can really learn more and more and more and dive deep. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment on this post and I will reply. And I just am excited. I'm excited for this period of time. I'm excited to support you on your growth. I'm excited for everything that's going on in the world. Even though it's crazy, even though the energies are intense, a lot of good stuff is also happening. So have a great day. Have a great August. Use this time to power down, focus in. And I want to invite you to really let go of the notion that you always have to hustle and drive and work really, really, really hard to have what you want. It's not always the only way, because rest and relaxation, reflection, they are vital parts of our journey. And so this part is so important to keep in balance for us to absolutely live an abundant life that ultimately is healthy and joyful. With that being said, have a beautiful day. Thank you very, very much.